first real Les Paul that I ever had was a black standard. And I think it was a reef end, and I bought it on Sunset Boulevard at this little shop. And so it was black, and it had bumblebee yellow binding. And it was really cool, but it was exciting to have a guitar that actually said Gibson on the headstock. You know, you have a lot of sort of basic electric guitar brands, you know, that have been around for a long time. And the Gibson Les Paul is, you know, like one of the all-time iconic guitars. I was drawn to Les Paul from the very get-go. So I would think probably because I didn't really know that much when I first started about which guitar sounded like what. I think I was probably drawn to the shape of it first, and then I started noticing that certain guitar players that whose music I really liked played that guitar. And it's just always been the instrument that I was the most comfortable with. And I've done trial and error with everything, you know, over the years early on. And I always ended up back at Gibson and the Les Paul. You know, I've been working with Gibson for a lot of years and done a lot of signature models and stuff. But this is the first batch of guitars that is part of the USA collection, which is really nice to finally have, you know, arrived at that place. The custom shop models are very exclusive. They're pretty expensive, and they're very specific. So it's nice to be able to do something with the USA, which is, you know, they're still top of the line guitars, but they're USA, they're a little bit more accessible and more affordable, and they're top quality. But not such that it's a limited edition, one style, one model, kind of a, you know, quick run. This is something that'll be there for a long time. The AAA top is just one of the nicest maple tops that you can get. You know, so what we want to do with all the USA guitars is get them to be as high quality as possible. Appetite Burst is influenced by a custom shop, Appetite for Destruction Les Paul that we put out a few years back, limited edition. And it was basically based on this guitar that I recorded Appetite for Destruction with. So this is basically that same guitar in a USA format. The November Rain guitar was actually Cesar's idea. You know, he has a Tobacco Sunburst, and he'd seen me do he'd seen the November Rain video where I used a vintage Tobacco Burst for that particular song. The vermilion is just, I want to say it's an Italian word for a type of red. And we just think it's a great name for this color. And the Anaconda Burst is that deep green kind of thing, because I'm a big fan of Anaconda snakes. So I wanted to do a guitar with Gibson that had this, you know, sort of rich green or emerald color to it, and call it the Anaconda. Yeah. The neck profile is a C profile, and I think it's what I've become over the years most comfortable with. Thin tapered necks, I've had a couple, and I mean, I can adapt to them, but I think I'm most comfortable with a C neck. And then as far as pickups are concerned, the ones that I've been using for years and years have been Alnico 2 pickups, and they're about medium output. They don't have too much gain, and they're not obviously jazz pickups. They're not too clean. So there's just a nice, honest guitar sound, electric guitar sound. I probably first picked up a J45 at Guitar Center back in 1981, something like that. It's just my favorite basic dreadnought Gibson acoustic. I've never been super into the big jumbos, and, you know, not really into the real minis. So this is just sort of very plain, simple dreadnought. This vermilion finish was something that we put together for the Les Paul and thought it would just be nice to do on an acoustic, and it ended up turning out really nice. And then the other one is one of my other favorite finishes, which is a Tobacco Burst. The neck profile is actually very similar to the Les Paul. It's a basic C shape, you know, relatively flat fingerboards. It just feels perfect. The one thing that you would hope that anybody picks up when they pick up, you know, one of these guitars is that same sort of excitement of, here's a guitar that is set up nicely and plays well and sounds good, and sort of just ticks all the boxes. Yeah. Your diamond rings, all your pretty things, and just move.